Train to Busan presents Peninsula. That's actually the title of this, which I think is weird, isn't it? And the original title was Train to Busan 2, but it's not a sequel. It's a standalone movie, but it's set 4 days away from the original. So how is that?
4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
But how is that? If it's not a sequel, why do they mention that it's 4 years away?
Well, it's because the thing is what they were trying to do is trying to create the nature of the zombies. Because every film has its own entirely zombie film. I mean, it's a shorthand for what the rules are like, for what the makeup is like, for on and on. Let me tell you what was great about Train to Busan. Train to Busan was great in the overwhelming nature of what was going on. I mean, it was overwhelming.
Yes.
It just seemed like you were just on the edge of being completely overrun every second, right?
Yep. And
I think that sense that I got there of I kept seeing things that it seemed like the zombies moved faster if they got together. That overwhelming sense of this thing coming at you constantly was amazing, and it then set the story that you have. That survival story that was in it had an immediacy that was that was undeniably enjoyable. I mean, it was just wow. I was blown away from the first frames to the last.
Yep. No, I'm the same way.
This one.
This one.
This one.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this one.
This one seemed like 3 different films.
I'm trying to contain myself.
Yeah. For some reason, it had 3 entirely.
Let me guess.
Different...
Fast and Furious.
Well, yeah. Well, I would say the one on the boat. It had the film that was on the boat at the beginning. Then it had the film that was the film that was in the middle with the cage. And I have to say, you could tell that they really had some money this time. They really did a huge job of set dressing.
This was like, hey, I'm gonna copy. I want to be as close to Hollywood as I can, so I'm gonna watch Die Hard. I'm gonna watch Fast and Furious. I'm gonna try to copy everything I see in Hollywood instead of being unique, and actually spend all the money I have on CGI, so I can have a car accident that only has CGI cars chasing CGI cars with no real cars in it.
That was the third segment. The third segment was the car race, and the car race.
It was so bad.
It sucked. It was just.
It was all. How do you do it a fully CGI car race? But it really was. At some points, it was 2 cars that were animated chasing 2 cars with animated people in them, and I'm like, what am I looking at here?
Yeah, it had everything going. It had everything going wrong with it. That everything that the movie Train to Busan had.
Yeah, all the magic was gone. Well, so like on the boat and in the cage, you want that claustrophobic feel, but at the same time you're losing that speed that the zombies have.
Right, exactly. Especially like in the boat where they're all. He walks into the room where they're feeding. Yeah. Right. That couldn't have happened in Train to Busan, right? Because they are mindless and they are instantly on you.
Yeah.
And I mean, just the fact that they put it at 4 years on.
Yeah, the zombies were smarter and faster, and it was just, it was totally different. This was like, I don't know, maybe the zombies were tired. I don't know. But no, you also had like the Walking Dead thing.
They were retired. You don't know. Maybe
where they were fighting, they threw the people out in the pit.
Yeah, that.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Return of the Walking Dead with the mall, right? Which one was that?
You're talking about the Living, Night of the Living Dead, or
it it was a retread of things that had been done before.
And I have a problem with doing, like, having a TV interview explain everything. I mean, we didn't need any of that stuff. All they needed is a graphic saying 4 years later, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and then that's it. Go right into the action. Why do they have to have somebody talking about it? There were some good twists, though, but I didn't really care because by the time they had this good twist, I was like already like, I can't wait for this thing to be over.
But I have to tell you, the thing is whenever they were playing part of it for sympathy, they played it forever.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, literally, the ending. I don't believe in having the ending of the film actually take a quarter of the film. It like went on and on and on. We'll go bit, and then I'm not kidding. It had already gone on for, it felt like 20 minutes, and then he says, "I'm gonna go back."
Right. Yeah. It was slow motion too. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it was like, "Oh, please, if you're gonna go back, don't go in so much. Don't go in so much." Oh God. It was like, yeah.
Well, I watched this a second time just to refresh my memory because I watched this like 2 weeks ago.
That's right.
And so I was watching it just to fast forward, just like, oh, okay, yeah, okay. But there were some interesting. Actually, there was one redeeming quality. A couple of the character arcs were actually not too bad, but it was just such a horrible story that I didn't care.
Well, the funny thing is there was a couple of character arcs that I thought that were really interesting that just got ended with a bullet.
Yeah, right.
Yes. I mean, right? Am I right about this?
Yes.
I mean, there were characters in there that you really kind of you totally got on their side, and then they pissed somebody off, and boom.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, that happened twice in there, and I was like, just because you don't want to write an ending for that character doesn't mean you just shoot him. I mean, come on, right?
Pissed off the wrong person.
Yeah, yeah, and it was the director. I don't know. What did that guy go to the craft service table too often? It's like, I warned you, man.
That's what I thought.
I'm not kidding. The vegetables are one thing, but how many goddamn muffins are you going to have in a day? Look, we're going to have to kill you.
I'll tell you what's worse is day one of the shoot, not having any coffee on the set. I've been there. Anyway, moving on.
Don't start.
Well, it got together after that one day. Everything came together. Yes. But no, just saying, you just need to have coffee. Coffee's important. It's very important. Yeah, I don't know. This movie was awful, I thought. It's like, I wanted it to be really good, and then I thought they tried to make it too big. Why not just do a Busan Part 2?
Yeah, that's... I'm with you. I didn't... Now, what was this called? Fast and Furious to Busan?
That's what I was gonna say. If I wanted to watch Fast and Furious, I would have just watched Fast and Furious.
Was it called Mad Max in Busan?
Beyond Busan.
In Busan, yeah. Actually, you know what it was? It was Busan Thunderdome.
Do you know what would have made this? Actually, that would have made this movie awesome if Mel Gibson would have showed up somehow.
Yeah, because then we could have just shot him.
Right.
Then that would have been warranted.
I don't know.
I'm just.
This was a bunch of people fighting a bunch of lazy zombies, and then once in a while, a really annoying, cracked up zombie would show up.
There are really times where we should be able to backcharge. Go look. Okay. I watched this film, and I'm going to say I sped up through certain parts of it, but still at the same time, you still wasted an hour and a half of my life.
Well, I watched it twice through. Second time in twice the speed, but... So I think, well...
Yeah, but that was your life. That wasn't my life.
Aronofsky owes me a fortune. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, well, there you go.
There's a certain film that I'm in therapy for, and I want to send him my bills for therapy. I think I'll recover someday.
There you go. So yeah, I'm not sure that I'm not sure that any of that was necessary.
No, it wasn't.
Just
And why do you, I see why they're going big. I mean, it's like Nightmare on Elm Street 4, right? You want to go bigger on the sequels, but
yeah, well, you go big because you can.
do you totally copy a different genre completely?
But here's the problem with Train to Busan is it was enormous in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it had a huge feel. And that was something that really hadn't been done. You know
Well, it also had a solitary feel because you only had a small group of people.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, the way that the whole situation could turn so fast, and then the group that you're working with, the group that becomes the protagonist is just, you just can't deal with them. Right. You know, they're just coming at you at 9,000 miles an hour. The fact that they lost that element of it somehow, and the fact that they made a game of it at a certain point, and it is one thing that I have to say I did kind of like, because there was a point where they bring them out, and somebody must have seen that article about the king rat. It's when all the rats get together and
right, yeah,
and they rolled them out that way, and I was like, wow, you know, that's just a little, yeah, it just didn't work. Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole well, it was also a heist. It was also, I forgot about the heist part.
Well, that's what I'm saying is it was 2-3 films in one. You know, I mean, it's yeah.
No, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think I gave Train to Busan. Okay, actually, I looked it up. You gave Train to Busan a 4. I gave it a 3.8.
Yeah, I loved it. I just loved it.
I'd give this like a 2, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have to go with a 2 myself, because that's what I was thinking.
Because it's number 2.
Number 1, take a Train to Busan Part 2.
If you want to see how not to do a car chase, check it out.
Yeah, you just throw every stupid thing at you, and the lights. And
we don't want to shoot this car chase, so let's pay the animators.
Well, you know, the other funny thing about it, and the car chase is a good indication of this, is that the lights, if the lights were going to do what we really thought they were going to do, then they would have been an instant.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And watching the zombies react to the light was like watching a newspaper item today in a real newspaper. It just doesn't happen.
Right, yeah. Exactly. Well done, Mick Strawn.
Anyway. So that's us.
How are you talking without moving your mouth?
Frozen. Am I frozen?
Yeah, well, your audio isn't though.
Am I frozen when the screen is frozen, or are you frozen when the screen is frozen?
No, I was grooving around. You were like this, but you were saying some things. It was creepy. Your mind was telling me things.
Well, yeah, that's the way that I am. I am gonna change this connection. So
we'll get there.
So anyway.
Yeah. I think we should have watched the movie behind us. It looks pretty good. There's bodies flying really everywhere and stuff.
It looks more entertaining than what we were watching, I have to say. Okay, I've had enough of this.
I don't blame you.
Okay, man.
All right.